Hi everyone, welcome to another webisode of The Good Doctor on eZeLiving.com. Today's webisode is less about a conversation with a doctor, more of a personal experience and a journey that I went through and I want to share with you. You know, as I crossed the age of 40, I felt internally that things weren't like they used to be. You know, when you're in your 20s and your 30s, you feel invincible, but that line, that age bracket, when you cross it over, some things just start changing, and it's pretty normal. But I wasn't feeling comfortable, which is why I went to Eternity Medicine Institute and had a chance to talk to Dr. Thomas Redna about my condition. What I found was astonishing, and the first thing he said was, look, let's put you through a diagnostic test. Now, when you think diagnostic, I immediately thought to myself, oh, hold on a second, I'm a human being. Don't you put cars under diagnostic tests and you check their tire rotation and engine and fuel and oil and all that kind of stuff? Well, the same thing's happening with humans today. We have to go and get a full body inspection to figure out what's right, what's wrong, what needs modification. So here's my journey, and I want to take you through the steps at Eternity Medicine Institute. So the first thing that I did upon arrival at Eternity was to fill out a form. Now this is general information about your status, where you're at, and it helps Eternity develop a baseline of where you need to go. Step number 2 was actually meeting Dr. Redna. Now we sat down and had a conversation. He went through the form with me, wanted to make sure that the information is as accurate as possible and as accurate as I know in terms of the information that I'm providing, and then the examination began. So after meeting with the doctor, the first step of the test and examination series was the blood test. Now, taking your blood is not the easiest thing in the world, but because of the level of professionalism at Eternity, it was a painless process. Now, step number 2 was actually a 3-part process. The first step was to take my height, weight, body mass index, and general information about my physical anatomy. The second part was to take a test about my thyroid. Now, not a lot of people know this, but the thyroid actually helps balance your chemistry, the chemicals in your body, your hormones. And the third component was basically to put nodes on my body and assess the condition of my heart. Again, seamless process, very simple to do, but absolutely critical. The third step was that I had to go under a full body scan, which basically has 3 parts within itself. They scanned my head, my midsection, and my lower abdomen. They wanted to make sure that all of my vital organs were in tip-top condition, all the way down to the artery level. The fourth step was a test to assess my emotional condition. They wanted to know whether or not my mood was actually in a state of happiness, sort of happiness, or whether or not there's something seriously wrong and needed to change. Because believe it or not, your mood has an impact on your body's performance. If you're in a good mood, your organs will also be happy. And the fifth and final step was the physical test. I had to do sit-ups, push-ups, steps, and I tell you, the tests that they took said a lot about how my body was performing. And I'll be honest, it wasn't the best of results. Now, after having gone through this test, I can tell you this. Now I have a pretty clear picture of what my condition is at. Now, they don't just give you a report. They take this data and enter it into a software. And you have this software in the palm of your hand, which means these are your health indicators upon which you can start improving your health condition. And as you start eating right, eating better, exercising more, taking the right supplements if you need to, your indicators will continue to improve and your health and wellness will enhance. So this was my journey with Eternity Medicine Institute. I strongly recommend anyone who's watching this video to take this test, and I guarantee you, going through the diagnostic test is worth the investment. Thanks for watching The Good Doctor on eZeLiving.com, where you can find anything and everything lifestyle.